Oh, hi everybody, welcome back to today's video. I'm going to show you how to design this real quick without any delay. Also guys, I'm going to show you the step-by-step I use to achieve a professional look. Chances are you can do the same thing and not get the same result. So I'm going to show you how I do it, create this beauty. Let's step into Photoshop and then click on create new. All right, and then once you click on create new, the dimension is going to come. We are going to be using this dimension 2000 here, 2000 here. Because it's for social media handles, it has to be a square shape size. All right, set the resolution to 300 and then let's call it maybe food post, right? And then let's click on create. Also guys, to achieve a very perfect and good alignment, we need to go to view and then we need to go to new guys layout, set it to 6:6 and then click on okay. Now this is what we are going to do. The first thing we want to do is to set the background color. And to do the background color, we're going to be using a solid color. I'll go there and I'm going to select solid color, and then I'm going to be using this color code F5 E8 C6. All right, it looks like a creamish color. That is good. The second one is you're going to go to the shapes here. You're going to pick rectangular shape and then we're going to be drawing something there like that. Okay, good. And then we're going to double click it and we're going to also pick this color code. We're going to pick this color code 830101. Click on okay. Okay, so you know why it's not showing? It's because of the opacity here. The opacity here is, let's drag it all the way there. All right, so we are done with our background. Let's now put it in a group and then let's call it BG. We are done with our background, or perhaps we can even add more to it. So I'm going to type and I'm going to type over here. I'm going to be picking burger, okay, and I'm going to be pasting it there. I'm also going to click on my move tool and I'm going to drag it. Click on the move tool guys and then drag it in there so that we can see it. Open your character and then we are going to be using this font. It's going to call Sylvonia stamp. Okay, we're going to be using stamp regular. This is what you're going to be using. And then you need to increase the font size a bit more. I'm going to be using perhaps let's just say 2, okay, something like this. Okay, but we can also do more to it. Okay, this is of course minus 25 years. We're also going to make this side, guys, we're going to pick the font size has to be a yellowish color. I'm going to use F08 E00. Okay, and I feel like this side I'm going to set it to 100. Control T. Okay, and then let's also go there. Let's keep this in the middle as well. I feel like we can expand it a bit more. Yep. So that is with that. Let's close it. Let's drag burger down a bit more, and if possible we can even put it inside the background, and then that is it. We are done with the background. Now let's bring in our burger, and I'm going to put this all the way in there and I'm going to release it. Okay, so thing is that we can control J, this one underneath it. I'm going to right click it and then I'm going to resize it a bit more. Then I'm going to drag it over here. Maybe I'll even drag it a bit more lower more. I'll duplicate it and I'll drag it also over here a little bit more. Now I'm going to select the 3 of them, Control T, Control H, and I'm going to make sure all these 3 also falls in the middle. And on top of that, I'm going to select these 2, Control. I need to make sure those 2 behind also fall where in the middle. It's really important. Okay. Now I'm going to put a layer between them, and then I'm going to right click it and convert clipping mask. I'm also going to do the same thing for this. Create a layer there, right click it and then create clipping mask. Now this one affects this, right? So click on the layer here, pick on your brush and then just pick any darkish color there. Okay, make sure caps lock is off. what you are going to do is you just want to clean here like that, and then drag the opacity down. Now you have to do the same thing to this. Clean here like that, drag the opacity down. Good, that is the first one. Let's put it in a group. Let's call it burger. Now let's create a layer here, and then make sure caps lock is off. Increase the size of the brush. Hit here 1 2, Control T on it, and then let's flatten it. Okay, so as you can see, we just created a shadow for it. You can do the same thing with this. Yeah, that also. Control J to duplicate it, and then we're going to drag it here as well. Okay, so we just created shadows for all 3 of them. Shadows are also done. This looks priceless, this looks great. We are also going to add the price tag to it. You can click here and then maybe write $5 there, but like usual, we are going to be using Lato for this, guys. Lato for this. And then we are going to also reduce the font size drastically to maybe around 30 or 32 or whatever it is. Okay, and then let's drag it up. Now also, guys, remember we can use our ellipse tool here and create an ellipse there. Double click on the ellipse and then pick the background color of cream here, and then drag it underneath the price here. Click on the price here, go and then pick this reddish color or cream color. Also click on your character. We want to make sure it is black, and then we also want to make sure the text falls in the middle of the entire circle. Put it in a group and then call it price. Now we can drag it up anywhere. Let's drag it on top of the burger. Good, and then we can rotate it. I always like to rotate my price tag over there. I don't want it to be too boring, so I do it this way. So we're done with the price as well. Let's bring in the details. We can just go here and bring this one, then just drag it in there and then enter, and then drag it down. Alright, I'm going to drag it down somewhere here. Good. Control H, Control T. Take notice how it falls in the middle there. That is really important. Okay, so by far I think this looks great. Let's put it in the group. Okay, this looks great. Now if this is what you did, that's good, but now is the time to do what? To level up your design. Everything we are doing now, this is what normally every person would do. If you want to level it up, I'm going to show you how to do it real quick. Guys, pay attention. Let's level up this design right now. The first thing I want to do is to add some motions to it, and the motions that we're going to be adding, guys, is these vegetables. Okay, so I'm going to drag it here, and then I'm going to drag it somewhere here. Good. Then I'm also going to pick that one, enter. I'm going to drag it somewhere there. Yeah, I like it like that. I'll also go again. I'll go for this one. I'm going to drag it somewhere here, enter. Then I'll drag it maybe down here a little bit to show that it's moving. So just like that, we have our veggies in the flying veggies. Okay, so that alone makes it epic, guys. The other thing is that we also want to add some glues to it, so I'll click there and then I'm going to click on the background color here. Then I'm going to hit here once. I'll set it to linear dodge, of course, and then guys, I'll click on my move tool. Now what I'm thinking about is to move it somewhere here, increase the size a little bit. Okay, reduce the opacity to maybe around 80 something% or 60 something. Good. We're going to duplicate it also, and you're going to bring it down here. Okay, I like the way it casts on the food over there like that. Okay, makes it really nice, if you feel me. So This is also another thing. Let's put it in a group. Let's call it glow. Then now we make all the colors, unified, guys. The colors, we make it unified. To do that, guys, we need to use a gradient map. Well, there are many ways to do it. I prefer to use a gradient map. Okay, I'm gonna double click here. I'm gonna give it 620E00. Good. Now this is going to affect the dark side. You can see the dark side, shadow side is affecting it. This is going to affect the highlights. FF9E46. All right, the highlights. I am going to set it to soft light, and then if I want to reduce it, I can reduce it to maybe around 90%. Alright guys, so this is how you create something like this. And if you love this video, please hit the bell icon and subscribe to this channel.